ETBrandEquity.com presents ET Studios Customer-Centric Strategies in association with Tata Communications and Genesys. It's my absolute pleasure to invite you to the panel discussion that we've scheduled for the day. In this dynamic discussion, we will be delving into the evolving landscape of technology and customer experience and the intersection in a digital-first world. Today, we're exploring how rapidly shifting customer expectations are shaping industries that are putting customer at the center and pivoting their strategies to make sure that their interactions with them are intuitive and innovative and the solutions are personalized that are powered by AI. We will also be addressing some key challenges that come hand in hand with emerging technologies such as AI, but also on the other side, the sort of opportunities that they present for both the customer and the organization. We'll be focusing on aligning customer strategies to produce maximum delight for the consumer. So please join me in welcoming our stellar lineup of industry leaders and let's uncover actionable insights to shape the future of customer engagement. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Let me start off with the introductions. We have Nikhil Bhushan, who's the CTO of Tata Starbucks. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
We have Regi Thomas of Genesys. He is Account Director West. Hi Regi.
Hello.
We have Devashish Roy of CET. He's the CDTO of the organization.
Hi,
Devashish. And we have Shailendra Pandey of Tata Communications. He's the Enterprise Sales Director.
Hi.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be brainstorming about CX, customer service, and all the other emerging tech opportunities and challenges that are being faced by leaders such as yourself and the solution providers. So let's get right to it. First up, how are you perceiving the shift in customer expectations in a digital-first world where interactions are usually digital as the first touch point? Starting with you, Nikhil.
Sure. So, Shubha, I'll just take you back when of course Starbucks started as the coffee house. I mean, there was not so much of tech involved at that time, and the very purpose was to have that people connect at the stores and with the baristas, having that community built around. As we've come into this age where where tech is all around us, and obviously the brand itself has evolved over a period of time. So while we started off of course first introducing ourselves more as a coffee house, moving more to let's say some bit of digital in terms of the websites, right? And then I think in late 2016 or so we launched our application, the mobile app, and I think we did fair for maybe the last couple of years around this. Now if you look at the shift today, right? So right from an online ordering, now it's moving to instantaneous, right? So you think of any good or service, right? And you want that convenience to whether it's in the quick commerce, whether it's in your 10 minutes deliveries of groceries, and coffee is no different, right? So it's also getting into that space. So we have a few of the brands which are already, they have started experimenting, and Starbucks has always been one of the leaders when it comes to to innovation and to making sure they are omnipresent, present with the customer, at whatever channel or medium is needed. And with that in mind, we are already experimenting towards having ourselves present on quick commerce. So the shift is earlier it used to be an occasion, then it became as a routine, and now it's it's covering the entire spectrum of routine and instantaneous and impulsive, and we need to be there, right? So obviously that means a complete change in the entire digital stack and how we've been handling our services and digital presence as such.
I just recently discovered that approximately 4 billion cups of coffee are consumed globally annually. So it's a huge market that you cater to, and now in newer, intuitive and innovative ways. Thank you for that, Nikhil. Taking that across to you, Regi, what sort of shift are you perceiving in customer expectations?
Well, let me just tell, Starbucks is a go-to place for us now after our meetings. Yeah, so even for a meeting or a post-meeting, we just go land there and conclude our sessions there. I think the shift that we are seeing when we engage with customers, everybody wants to be digitally present because the customer psyche have changed today. Consumer behavior have seen a tremendous shift. There is a lot of research, lot of insights, lot of reviews that a customer sees before buying or evaluating anything. So there is a huge dependency for any brand to create a persona for the brand online so that customers can see that before they take their buying decisions. And when it comes to customer experience, it's important for brand to be present for the customer when they are in need. So if you are delivering a particular service or if you're delivering a particular product at late at night, you definitely have to ensure that you have your service team available if in case there is a gap in that delivery. So for a brand, they have to be digitally present everywhere, have their communications channels across all social channels or every channels, and from a customer service point also they have to be equally available, is what I've seen that.
Yes, available 24/7 because we want service 24/7, as Nikhil rightly also mentioned. With quick commerce, there needs to be quick customer service as well in tandem with that. So great points there, Regi. Taking that across to you, Debashish.
So, I mean, before I move to the trends that we see, right, a very unique, taking a step back, right, especially as tire manufacturers, right, the product that we operate, the space that we operate in, the product is often perceived as a Girish purchase, right? Unlike purchasing an iPhone or a very costly luxury item, uniquely we don't see that happiness while purchasing a tire, right? So more often than not, it's a necessity and not a desire that this purchase happens. And hence, which also gives us a big opportunity to really enhance the customer experience so that we really help these customers make informed decisions, right? In order to do that, I think there are some few key things which are focusing on by delivering personalization, by delivering and focusing on informative decision-making tools, right? And really helping the customer make the informed choice and thereby driving customer loyalty, right? That's the core of us. Now coming to the trends that we really see and how this entire shift is happening, right? These days customers, as he mentioned on the Starbucks front, right? These days customers are really looking for an experience which is omni-channel, one. Second is very seamless, right? So our customers, they browse the websites, right? Wanting to really know about the products, compare the products and really compare different kinds of pricings that are available on the product. But when it really comes to the delivery, it is always a mix of a phygital model, right? So you are really looking for then differentiators being your price comparison, transparency, and product catalogs, right? These are the core differentiators which then really help this customer make an informed decision. In order to achieve that, as see it, I think we are really investing on cutting edge technologies like IoT, a lot of advanced analytics modules and AI, definitely to really hone the skills that we have at our end so that this customer experience is seamless, right? And I mean, in a very effective manner.
If I may also ask you, do you think tires as a product have evolved from just a product to product as a service?
Absolutely. So that is what I was saying, right? As a customer, when you are really browsing, right, and exploring different kinds of products on a website, what you demand as a customer is online purchase, right? Then you're also looking for the fitment of the tire, which is mobility, right, and as a service, and also on time, on demand, fulfillment of these services from time to time, which is on demand wherever you want at the convenience of this customer. So from a completely online sales driven channel to the fulfillment happening physically is what we are seeing as a big trend.
Well, I can see that all you organizations are keeping the customer at the center and pivoting
Correct.
and evolving your strategies to serve them.
Exactly.
And Shailendra, I'm sure you agree with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this digital first interaction, I think it's actually creating a lot of challenges and opportunities at the same time. So I completely echo with what you have been saying about it. The opportunities, the way I'm seeing is that this digital first initiative is actually giving a lot of digital insights, getting captured right at the source, and it's actually completing the complete feedback loop, the value creation for a production company or a services company like yours. I think at each value creation, this feedback is going real time. But the challenges actually lies with technology people like us, right, isn't it? How do we implement it? How do we bring the consistency in the omni-channel? So I think it has both opportunities and challenges, and a lot has been spoken about. We can dwell further more on that. Thanks.
Well, next we'll go on to the buzzword that's permeated all industries, and I'm sure marketing is no different. We have AI, right? So how are you integrating AI into CX and customer service?
Sure. So as we speak, I mean, like, we are already, like I said, like we are present omni-channel. So whether it's the store, it's the app, it's even the partner apps. Let's say, like, the quick commerce or like, the maybe the food aggregators which are there. Now, from a customer perspective, while they may use any of these channels, right? I mean, end of the day, it's like, it's central for Starbucks to give that seamless and consistent experience. In that sense, yes, I mean, like, a lot of AI gets built into the models, right? So it will be very, let's say, like, because we've also seen a trend where people do switch amongst applications and amongst channels very, very quickly, right? And without breaking that journey. How do I bring in, let's say, like, while I'm browsing on an app and suddenly, okay, because I'm ordering through an aggregator some other items and I want to add a coffee, right? So I don't want to break that journey, right? And at the same time, I also have to, make sure that the uniqueness of Starbucks is retained. So that's where we are, playing in with a lot of, AI, and it's a journey. So, while AI, we've been working with almost, I would say, 3-4 years now. It's only the quantum of contribution of the intelligence. It's now just increasing further and further, right? So, right from the recommendation engines to maybe, to having the, let's say, routing for deliveries, which is, which is the most optimum. So, and especially when, when we are moving, and the reason I'm mentioning quick commerce a bit more, because that's something which is very, very in, and in fact, it's a new, I would say, complete change in the way people are ordering and people are consuming services. So they want instant. So if I may have 100 stores, I may have to actually have another large chunk of maybe dark stores or partnerships to make sure that that I'm available within that 10-minute radius of from where you're ordering. And I don't think that's possible to do without AI, because there is a lot of data. I mean, humanly it's insane. And today we already operate close to 500 stores, and we are only expanding further. And then to have all that bird eye view of what is the coverage, presence, experience, and both in terms of the app or the website or any other thing, it's actually impossible without AI. So that's where we are weaving it, technology, each step how we are moving forward on.
Data has become so much richer with AI, combining with it and mining your own data for actionable insights. I think that's a trend that we're seeing increasingly now. Would you agree with that, Devashish?
Absolutely. And again, in space of AI, I believe 2-3 key trends that we are seeing is AI-based recommendation engines, right? The way we are using that is a truck category, right, which is a very, very important segment for us. The right fitment of a product with a vehicle is very, very important, right? If that doesn't happen, we don't see performance being at the peak, or the optimized performance is not there. Plus, again, the brand value goes for a toss. So what goes into this decision making is a lot of multiple variables, right, and permutation combinations to arrive at the right mix of product and the vehicle, right? That is where we are using multivariate pitch creator, which is an AI-driven engine, which really helps us customize the kind of tires that goes into a truck with a lot of permutation combinations, which is now, it used to be manual, now it is completely AI-driven. That is one area. Second, in terms of completely personalized marketing, right, we have a website where customers generally come to browse and engage on the different kinds of purchases that they have to make, right? And we have integrated this with CDP, which is a customer data platform. And we are using Marketing Cloud personalization, right, on top of it to really recommend the kind of creatives, so that depending on this customer, whether it's a first visit customer or a second visit customer, how do we ensure that we ensure repeat purchases, the right kind of creatives are flowing in because of this AI-driven marketing personalization that is happening on this platform, which is a CDP platform, right? To top it up, there is a company called Tabi, which is also a RPG-based company. They are into mobility solutions, smart mobility solutions, right? And what they offer is they have automated tire management solutions for fleet operators, right? So this is again an AI-based service which acts on a lot of things like IoT. It works on predictive maintenance and so on and so forth. So these are a couple of use cases which we are seeing and where we are really working and investing as a see it.
You know, predictive maintenance was always around, but it's become so much better
Correct.
with AI. And like you mentioned, there are some older challenges that you were facing, which was done manually.
Right.
But now with AI, it's become way easier.
Yes.
So these are the opportunities that, you know, emerging tech presents. But I'm sure it also comes with its set of challenges. So what are the sort of challenges that you are seeing when you're integrating AI? Because I know it's paramount to be, you know, at the forefront of cutting edge technology, because you have your competitors, you have the rest of the market, so you can't play a catch up game and you have to be a leader there. So when you are a pioneer and you are pioneering AI in your services, what are the sort of challenges you're facing?
So I think the data is lying in various silos, right? So one of the key ask as a company is to how do you really operate with, bring all the silo data into one data layer, right? And then how do you really use this data to mine useful insights and drive decision making based on this insights? So that is what we are focusing on.
To break down silos.
Yes.
And I think that seems to be the endeavor with everyone, to have that 360-degree
Right.
view of the customer.
So, in fact, just to add, and I'm sure, she'll agree, because most of our brands, right? I mean, they are legacy brands, so it's
Right.
not digital native to begin with. So we've been doing business for last maybe 2 decades, and obviously we've built technology which now is dated. So then we also grapple with the fact that we have some legacy systems which may not be, let's say, lending themselves to digitization. Add to the complexity that we are also present, let's say, at the airports and high streets, where there's a lot of dependency on the partner ecosystem. So for example, at a particular airport, I may not really be able to use my tech, but I have to use the airport's tech, because they want to give a experience to their customers, which is with a different. So those are the type of, I would say, issues where, generally the systems are not compatible, or you cannot have enough data to really process. Because again, everyone, data being the new oil, everyone wants to have as much of control of it is. But end of the day, I think it's also detrimental from the customer experience when you don't transparently share that, that data across. And well, I'm sure the industry is working towards it, and sooner or later we'll be there.
Yes, because this data being held by the aggregators is such a common complaint, right? So like you said, I'm sure the solution will be there soon. Sure, Shailendra.
So just to add, I think my career has actually given me opportunities to talk to leaders like you, the peers of yours, large conglomerates. One thing I have noticed is that the challenges, what you are speaking, is absolutely there. This internal to the organization, data silo, systems, challenges others we spoke about. It also brings another challenge, which is the technology challenge for me. So when I look at the technology challenge, we at Tata Communications, what we do is that we have created a beautiful interaction fabric. This interaction fabric is actually a combination of 3 towers. The conversation platforms, the communication platform, what we call it, it's a software which already has got WhatsApp, chat, voice, all kind of communication channel, multimedia channels that we have been speaking about is already there. Then we also have a pillar which is on contact center and live agent UI, partnership with Genesys. And then on top of that, we also have created, and we are continuously improving, is the conversational AI part of it, right? It's a journey that we have taken, and it's going to improve day and year after years, right? But the story doesn't stop there. Let's also understand the fundamental nuts and bolts on which this has been built. What is the data center? What is the expertise for the person where it's getting hosted? What is the network fabric which is going on? Is that secured? What is the overarching cybersecurity? So all this is something which we have packaged. We have 2 decades of experience working with the large conglomerates like yours. And this is something which we are actually solving from a technology part of it. So while you are focusing on creating the internal synergy, the silo data to be streamlined, the self-service kind of things can be enabled, we are actually also working towards overcoming the technology challenge. And as a partner, I think there's a lot to achieve together.
Absolutely.
Sure, and Regi, would love to get your perspective on this too.
Yes. I think first I would just like to emphasize few things on the buzzword AI, right? So Genesys from a GTM perspective is investing heavily on AI. We are looking at ways how we can automate conversations. So if, for example, if a customer and agent is having a call, having an auto summarization done on that conversation really helps, so that the agent doesn't have to go back and do a detailed scripting of what really happened, auto summarization. How was the sentiment on the call? How good the agent was? What was the empathy metrics there? So these things using AI can be measured, and the agent can change their voice, the agent can actually bring in more softness while having a conversation. So right, when the real customer experience touch point is happening real time, if you can have an AI engine working for you and giving right inputs, you can be more effective in your conversation with your customers. Genesys does use ML to predict the right right agent to come on the call. For example, if Shailendra is on an IVR, he's stuck for a while, and he has a query, and that a particular agent only can solve, right? If some other agent comes on the call, it may take more time. But if agent Regi can come on the call and solve it, that becomes faster. So using Genesys in the backend, using ML will identify the right agent to come on the call. So those are some things from an org level that we're doing to ensure that AI and ML works as a additional like a bonus on top of what's natively that can be offered. Yes, there is challenges. Companies, brands do have challenges in measuring ROI with implementation of AI, scalability. Those are some things which it's difficult, but given the time at which we are working and the pace at which AI is evolving, definitely there is a lot of scope for brands to make the most of it.
Well, absolutely, and brands we have today are doing just that. You know, I also always wondered, when you have an in-person interaction, there's always that element of trust. It's easier to build trust earlier. Now with a very virtual world, how are companies such as yourself building that trust online through these digital interactions? I'll take it across to you first, Devashish.
So I think couple of things, as I mentioned, right? How do we really help customers in informed decision making, right? That is where the trust building process starts. And that is the first pillar, right? So how do you really help customers who is browsing for a tire, for example, right? As I said, it's a grudge purchase. So the work that we do at CEAT is how do we help this customer with the various price comparison, ensuring that we are providing transparent pricing, ensuring we are providing the right information in a very, very simplified way, because the most often than not, the products that we sell, right, they're very complex in nature. So how do we really break those down into very simplistic product features, the benefits that the tires provide, and the kind of tire that you really need as a customer, right, depending on your preferences, depending on how you drive, right, and the terrain that you're driving on. So these are some of the things which we are really helping us build that ecosystem of trust by helping this customer making an informed decision on what tire he really wants. So that is the starting point, which definitely leads to a lot of personalization, building on the customer experience part, ensuring finally the loyalty part. How do we really drive this as a loyal customer and adding to the LTV?
It's so interesting looking at this conversion from an intuitive recommendation into a loyal customer, right? Because if you're going to show me exactly what I want, then I'm going to trust that brand. So that's a great example.
And as I said right earlier, this entire purchase process, right, from a journey standpoint from a customer is starting with browsing for the tires that he or she wants as a customer, to really ensuring comparison that they have taken the right product, and ensuring from a demand standpoint, right, fulfillment of this service at wherever they want, which is doorstep delivery and the mobile fitment. So everything converges towards the end. I mean, which starts from an online exploration to finally culminating into a purchase and fitment from a service standpoint.
Well, that's truly seamless, indeed. Nikhil, how are you building trust online?
So, few things that we promise our customers. Typically, of course, one is when it comes to the coffee, we serve the best of the beans, 100% Arabica, top 3% sourced globally. So that is consistent irrespective which channel and which store you visit. Another one is, of course, to have the to have the drink right. So now over there, of course, there is a challenge when we talk of deliveries and things like that, because see, if you are at a store and let's say you order for maybe a frappuccino or maybe any other cafe, if your beverage is not to your taste, we immediately make a fresh one, adjusting to what the feedback is. For obvious reasons, it's not possible in delivery because we've already shipped out something and that's where it is. But what we try to do is have that consistency and experience. So, for example, let's say typically your aggregators and that's where the majority of the delivery is happening today, right? They are gig workers, right? Now, imagine you have the best of product, but someone handing it over does not really give you the best of experience. So that is it's the overall customer satisfaction is bound to come down. Now, how we are addressing that is, of course, we are trying to partner with all the delivery channels, including the aggregators. And specifically when it comes to Starbucks, we also have some joint initiatives where we are training the not only the baristas but also the delivery people on how that customer interaction, maybe if it's even a fraction of a minute, I mean that has to be positive. And the entire I would say our PR teams and the operations, they work very closely across channels to give that consistency to experience. So even if it's a delivery, even it's I will not name the aggregators though, but yeah, any of them coming over, I mean if it's the person is carrying a Starbucks bag or a cup, hopefully you will have the similar experience what you would have at the store. So that's how we try to have the consistency. And of course, as a product, I think we strive and we proudly maintain having that commitment to the customers of serving the best of the beans around the world.
It's great to see your commitment to consistency and how you're endeavoring to maintain excellence across mediums and channels. Fantastic indeed. But now, unfortunately, we are coming to the end of this very interesting conversation. But before that, I do have a final question. We're right at the beginning of 2025. What big shift do you perceive is going to take place in CX and customer service in this year and perhaps in the coming few years? I'll take it across to you first, Girish.
Sure. So I think AR/VR, okay, AR/VR added to the CX part would really be the game changer. And from a industry standpoint, if I talk about our industry, we really envisage a couple of things, right? One being, how do we really enhance the product visualization, right? Initially, I mentioned that tire as a product, right? Very, very complicated product. How do we really ensure that customers can really view the 3D images of the tire, right? And how the look and feel really looks on their own vehicle from a product visualization standpoint. Second area, again, on the AR/VR side and customer experience side is, how do we simplify the products, right? How do we really help interactive AR/VR really simplify the benefits and the tire features, the product features, right, in a very, very user-friendly manner to the end consumers. And third that I have in mind is in terms of immersive experience, right? Most often than not, we really do test drives, simulation exercises with the OEMs, with end consumers, right? If there is a way where we can really help build AR/VR and on top of our customer experience layer, right? This helps the customers really view for a particular terrain, for a particular tire type, what the experience is like, right? In terms of safety, in terms of durability, and so on and so forth.
So you have exciting plans for the coming few years. Great to know that. Going across to you, Shailendra, what are you anticipating for?
I think this journey has already started. What I'm recommending is the hyper-personalization at the back of real-time data analytics, at the back of Gen AI. I think this journey has started. We are going to see some exciting things in year 2025 as well. I can give you, I think it's going to manifest maybe a couple of things for us. The way I look at it, and if I can give some examples, like proactive engagement. So at a service, imagine my bank alerting me in advance that there's a fraud activity is going to happen and giving me a solution. And not like simple mantra, okay, your OTP is going to be hacked or don't share your passwords, not that. Absolutely personalized proactive engagement. The experience is going to be wow for that bank. My loyalty will go up, right? So that's one thing that I'm thinking that probably it's going to manifest. For our product-based company, I think the feedback loop which I was talking about, it's actually going to trigger even personalized services. So at the back of personalized manufacturing creation for individual or for a group of people, I think that is something also that can happen through this real-time analytics. So I think the hyper-personalization is something which we will see happening in 2025 according to me.
Well, absolutely. It's going to be a huge trend. It's going to continue. We already have hyper-personalizing at scale as well. But now with the data privacy norms and rules that are being rolled out, I think it's going to be challenging to balance that. And we're going to see how brands are doing that. They have partners like you to help with it. I'll come across to you, Regi. What do you think is going to be a significant shift?
I think hyper-personalization is the key word. Definitely that will increase abandoned carts. Calls are being made, right? If you go and there is an abandoned cart, you try doing a transaction and you left your cart, did not complete a transaction, immediately a call comes. Today that is happening, right? So that will grow. Automation will scale up again, where bots and automations can be installed. Those places, the frequently asked questions, you don't need an agent to come on a call and answer that, right? So automations can come in place and sort those things. And I think gamification is next big thing from a CCaaS perspective, because agent who are working in the back end, they have to be constantly motivated, and they will come to know what is their reports or real time. So all those things will grow in the coming days, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great trend forecast right there from you. And I am going to let you have the last word, Nikhil, on this. So go ahead.
Sure. So one is certainly what I feel agreed. I mean, it's going to be a lot of hyper, personalization, and it's going to be at scale. So we are only growing in terms, leaps and bounds in terms of the orders, deliveries, and omni-channel presence. At the same time, the tolerance level of customers is every day it's only coming down. Right? So a small slight miss, and you're all over the social for wrong reasons. So we only have to become more and more cautious and aware of that. I think as a trend, we are already most of the initiatives are already ongoing. Probably what I feel is going to change is the scale and the pace. So something what we could plan maybe 8-10 months as a roadmap, now it's going to get squeezed into 3 to 4 months, with the expectation that it works seamless and we are able to get there. So and obviously everything has to be Insta friendly. So that is.
I second, we are living in an era of self-gratification, instant gratification.
Yes,
Absolutely.
So
So
and
Customers'
customers,
tolerance is slowing down.
Yeah.
it's here to stay.
and
Yeah.
customers are ready to pay that extra price, right? They
Correct.
understand, even though the price is X, I'm ready to pay X plus 2 today to
Correct,
get that
yeah.
service.
Convenience
that's the
is at the core.
differentiation.
Convenience is at the core. Whatever, anything for
Absolutely. It needs
convenience.
to be instant, and I think he went Insta-friendly as well, on Instagram. So I think everything has to be social media, the aesthetic needs to
Right.
look good on social media, and it has to be immediate, right?
Exactly.
So that's a tall task indeed that you have on hand. Now, along with the trends, I was hoping you're going to give us a sneak peek of the new flavors at Starbucks, but I'm joking. But we will ask you this.
You
after
should
this.
actually, I mean, just this week we started the Mumbai 100 trend, which is we had the 100 store in Mumbai.
Okay.
And there are some special foods which are very, very local. You should really go out and try some.
That's a great call to action right there. All right, but on that note, we're concluding this discussion so we can continue it off screen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a fantastic panel, got some great insights there truly. So thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having
Thanks a
us.
lot. And thank you so much for watching. And remember to stay tuned to our series for more such insightful conversations.